Hey, what's going on, guys? Well, this is going to be a story time video, and this has to do with current events because I'm going to talk about what I did today. It's a very interesting day, so I figured I'd share it with you guys. And what you're looking at here, the visual aid for this video is going to be better explained later in the story. So I'm still sick. I still have the flu. I'm on the kind of the tail end of it. I'm definitely starting to feel better, but I'm not at full capacity yet. My wife happened to have to go into work later in the day today, so we had some time to do something, and we were talking a little bit. She asked if I was up for going out, getting some fresh air, which I did need today. It was very nice actually getting out. It was a beautiful day. It wasn't too chilly. So, we didn't want to go spend any money or actually go anywhere far because she had to work. So we decided to go take some pictures. It is fall. It is beautiful. Here in northeastern Pennsylvania, the trees are changing. I have a lot of lakes by me, so it's just a great time to go out and just play around with some photography. So we both have our cameras. We ended up going out for the day. We went to a couple different locations. Like I said, we got a lot of lakes here. I love taking the pictures by the water, but there's one particular spot that I wanted to take her. It's a cove that I used to visit at the first house I lived in before we met when I was single. And if you actually watch old vlog videos that I did, I used to always walk to this pond, and it was a beautiful pond. So I ended up taking her there, and she loved it, and she asked if there's any other spots I used to go to, and there was a cove, and I haven't been to this cove in a long time. It's basically just a cove off of a large lake that's somewhere near my house, and it's beautiful. It really is beautiful. And so I thought, oh my God, now that it's fall, there's a lot of little kind of mini islands around there, and it'd be really fun to go to. So we ended up driving over there, and I got my Chrysler, and they're doing paving. Now I'm driving past this truck, and it's a mess. There's like kind of tar spilt everywhere, and I'm thinking, oh God, I'm gonna get tar in the car. It's gonna be horrible. I ended up getting past the thing. And it's kind of hard to explain, but it's somewhat of a narrow road, and there's a little bit of a pull-off, a little section in order to park your car so you can walk up to the cove. So I went to go pull off the freshly paved road, and I had to almost slam on the brakes because I realized the drop-off is like 2.5 feet. These guys paved the road, and they built it up so high that it was literally more than a 2-foot drop. So I'm thinking, gee, if I pull off, I'm gonna probably rip the front bumper off my car. God forbid, now that I just replaced the grill, there's no way I'm gonna be damaging this car. So I'm like, no, I can't pull off. Look at the drop there. And my wife's like, yeah, you're right. What do we do? And I said, well, I really want you to see the cove. And if you don't pull off to the side, you're kind of blocking the road. You're kind of in the middle of the road. I said, you know what? Screw it. We're gonna be like 5 minutes. It's not a very traveled road, so it's no big deal. So we're probably maybe 100 feet away from construction, maybe 200 feet. And so I'm like, all right, let's just park here. Let's throw the hazards on the car, just in case someone comes, they'll see it anyway. And go snap a couple shots and come back. So she's like, all right, fine. A little reluctant, didn't really like the idea, it wasn't too comfortable sounding to her. But she's like, all right, fine. So we ended up walking down the path towards the cove because you had to cut through the woods a little bit. And there's a beautiful little stream there, and we're taking pictures of the stream, taking pictures of each other. I mean, the scenery is wonderful. Right now, the trees by me are just absolutely beautiful. All the colors are kind of peaking. They're really bright oranges and yellows and reds. And the greens are still hanging in there on some trees. It really just a sight to be seen. Here in northeastern Pennsylvania, fall, I mean, if you live in the woods, you get to really experience it full blast. It's really something else. So anyway, we start walking further down the path, and eventually we get to the cove, and she's like, yeah, this is great. There's a lot of little islands going on. There's kind of a peninsula you can walk out to, and there's these big boulders you can kind of climb onto and get a really good view of the lake. So we're kind of playing around there, taking a bunch of pictures and talking, and maybe 5 or 10 minutes goes by, and then we realize that someone's yelling. The construction moved up the road, and there's big tar trucks and all kinds of steamrollers and everything else moving up towards my car, and guess what? It is in the way. So the guy's screaming. I guess he sees us out there, so I'm like, oh crap. So our good time got cut short. I ended up walking back, and By the time we got back there, the guys were actually really nice. They're like, hey, buddy, if you just move over for now. I'm like, look, you guys, you left no spot for me to pull over. You know, there's a 2.5-foot drop. And he's like, oh, that's what we're doing right now. We're fixing it. We're putting a slope in. So I'm like, all right, great, whatever. So we hop in the car, we end up leaving. And at this point, my wife's, her camera, her battery's dying, and she didn't bring a spare battery or anything like that. So we figured out, you know, we had some fun. We spent some time out. We might as well just go home. So we're traveling home, and we pass a church. And this church has a bunch of stuff in the parking lot. Looks like a big tag sale, garage sale type thing. There's got to be 2 or 3 dozen tables worth of stuff. There's furniture out there. So I'm like, hey, you want to check it out? She's like, yeah, sure. We love that kind of stuff. We love garage selling and yard selling. Now, to kind of cut back a couple days, Saturday, there was supposed to be a town-wide garage sale. All right, 60 plus houses and a couple businesses involved with this garage sale. Massive. I was very sick, so I couldn't do it. And my wife had to work anyway, so even if I wanted to do it, we couldn't do it. And I do that stuff with her. I don't really do it by myself. At least not often anyway. So we just called it a loss, say maybe we'll do it next year. But apparently this is the residual stuff left over from that sale. So we got there and there's no one around. It's an empty, you know, parking lot there. I don't see any people. There's no one at the church. So we're kind of looking at this stuff, but I'm thinking, I don't know, you know, what do you do if you want to buy something? There's literally no one around here. I don't want to steal anything. And then of course we ran into a nice big sign that says everything was free. And whatever was not taken by the end of the day was going to be thrown out at the disposal, the dump, you know. So I'm like, wow, you know, first of all, it's a huge shame because there's a lot of great stuff there. It's just stuff that people happen to not want to buy. I don't know if it's leftover stuff from, you know, past church sales or whatever. But so we ended up spending like an hour looking for stuff there. That's what you're looking at here. This is the stuff I actually brought back. I got some records, some books. I got a pot holder and a beer stein. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But I'm looking around with my wife and we're finding all kinds of cool things. We really loaded up on all this stuff. And then we kind of looked at each other and realized that, you know, we're just collecting clutter. There's a lot of unnecessary stuff. Like, for example, there was a massive brand new Winnie the Pooh stuffed animal. It had to have been maybe 3.5, 4 feet tall, and it had a wizard costume. And I wanted to get it for my niece. It was a Disney stuffed animal. It was probably very expensive, and there wasn't a mark on it. The thing was brand new. But I know my sister is very against clutter. And, you know, my niece has so many toys already and she has very large stuffed animals already. So my wife kind of talked me out of it, you know, and I was talking her out of things that we don't need for the house. And sometimes you get caught up, especially at garage sales. You're like, oh, you know, I can use this, or hey, I use that. And then you bring it home and you don't use it. It just sits around, or like maybe you grab something for a project you never do, or whatever the case may be. Maybe a piece of furniture you love, but you really have no place to put it. You know, I'm guilty of that. I've done that plenty of times in the past. I love especially like antique-y type furniture. And I'll bring pieces home, or at least I have, and then I really don't have anywhere to put it. And then the house starts getting a little bit cluttered and I have to get rid of it. So I've been really trying to kind of downgrade in life in general. You know, I want less stuff. You know, the stuff that I have, I want to be, you know, quality. If I go to buy something, I try to save up and I buy something that's of better quality. Instead of having, you know, more, I just want better quality. So it's always quality over quantity. Basically, we had to dwindle down our massive piles, because when someone tells you something's free, there's something deep down inside of us that just wants to fill a bag. You know what I mean? Pack up some boxes. There's a lot of awesome stuff. And, you know, part of me is thinking, I could sell a lot of this stuff. You know, it's a shame. It's going to be thrown out. I might as well just take it all and sell it all. And to be honest, I already have stuff sitting around that I have to sell. So we kind of had a little talk there right in the church parking lot, and we looked at our stuff that we had. Our hands were just filled. I mean, I couldn't even hold everything. And we decided to downgrade to just stuff we were going to use or that we really want. So she put her stuff back, half of it. I put half my stuff back. We ran into some other things. We actually found, I should have taken a picture of it. There were two, they were like toy ventriloquism type dolls. I mean, they weren't like professional dolls, but they were, I guess, a kid's toy. I don't know. It's got to be from the 70s. It was a boy and a girl, And, you know, you can slip your hands and wrists into their arms and hands, so you can use those to move around. And then you can put your hand behind their head into their mouth and you know, flap their mouth open and shut. Very, very cool, but very creepy. You know how like some old stuff just is creepy because it's old? Like these things were brand new. They were never touched. They were probably in someone's grandmother's attic or something that she had when she was a kid and never used. They're probably worth some money, but I couldn't take them home because it's creepy. I couldn't help but start thinking that this is a great plot for a scary movie. Couple goes out to take pictures. Oh, they run across a garage sale, find these wonderful dolls, bring them home. Hey, guess what? It's almost Halloween, and then they kill us in our sleep. So I was getting a little creeped out, to be honest. I don't normally believe in bad juju or anything like that, but that was definitely starting to give me the heebie-jeebies, and my wife kind of agreed. I had them in my hands because I wanted them. And then I'm like, no, let's put them back. And then I actually felt weird about putting them back now that I was going to take them. And then I thought, all right, well, I'll just sell them. They're beautiful. I mean, they're going to get crushed. They're going to go to the dump. This sucks. You know, it's such a shame. Someone will love these. I'll sell them. And then I put them in the car. And then I took them out of the car. Like, no, they're too creepy. It was back and forth for like 10 minutes. It was really weird. Very strange experience with those things. But ultimately, we did not take them. Same, like I said, with the giant stuffed animal. So if my sister happens to be watching this video, you know, she'll be happy about that. So less clutter for her. So ultimately, this is what I ended up with, and that's what I'm going to share with you right here. I did grab a couple chess books because I will read these, and when I'm done, I will pass them on. I got Chess Training Pocketbook, 320 Key Positions for Players of All Levels. Learn Chess with that dude, world champion, and How to Play the Middle Game in Chess by that guy. It's actually a funny ongoing story because I love playing chess with my dad, and my grandfather played chess, and my grandfather had a couple books on chess, and my grandfather was damn good. And long after he passed away, one time I was rifling through his bookshelf looking for something to read, and I stumbled across his chess books, and I read them. And I knew exactly how my grandfather played because of those books. They had some really interesting strategic ideas. And he followed those rules to almost a T. And when I started adapting those to the way I play chess, I started beating my dad all the time. Because my dad used to kick my butt at chess, you know? And now I was basically playing like my grandfather. And it's rare that my dad beats me. You know, and by the way, this is a family thing. Like, I'm not some master chess player. You know, I'll hop on like, you know, Yahoo Chess or something like that every now and again and get my butt kicked, you know, left and right. But I can say I'm a decent player. I hold my own. You know, I can make a game interesting. Let's leave it at that. But it's just funny because I read those books, and then my dad will always say, like, one day I'm going to read those damn books too. You know, I'll beat you. And yeah, still waiting, Dad, if you're watching this. Still waiting for you to read the books, because it did have some really interesting things, and it helped me to really better my game and strengthen it and give me more strategy. But anyway, so I got some chess books. I love everything Christmas. They had a big thing of Christmas ornaments, like some vintage ones. Unfortunately, most of the stuff that was here, again, this is the rejects pile, you know, even though there was dozens of tables of stuff, it's all stuff that people didn't want to buy for the last 2 days, you know. So a lot of the things were broken. There were some really cool ornaments I really wanted, but they were broken. So unfortunately, I didn't take any of those. I did find a unused oven mitt, though. So how about that? Ho, ho, ho. I got an oven mitt. I got my beer stein. Big old Oktoberfest beer stein, which is very cool. I don't know exactly how many ounces this holds, but it's girthy and strong, and it's cool. So I'll add that to the old collection. And I got some records. My wife has an old record player. She actually has 2 of them. One I keep at my family's house, and one we have here. So I got some records to play. I've never seen these before. These are actually, it's all comedy. I have Richard Pryor, the bicentennial, yeah, I'm not going to say that, but that's his record. One of them here. Richard Pryor, I'm a huge fan. So this would be pretty interesting to listen to. I think I've heard most of his stuff before. Here's another one, Richard Pryor, Is It Something I Said? And the records are in here. Let's see, there's the little lineup there of bits. I got some Cheech and Chong, Sleeping Beauty, OD40. And all these records seem to be in good condition. I won't know until I play them. So I got some Cheech and Chong. I got another Richard Pryor. Move my camera back a little bit here. Richard Pryor, yeah, it's crazy. I can't say it. You guys know I can't say that. Come on now. Another Cheech and Chong. Awesome. And big disappointment, this is missing the record. Cool album art though. Pull out the sleeve, and then you got the inside of the door where they're hiding all their goodies. So yeah, that was a disappointment though. I just grabbed the whole pile, but this one has no record, so that's useless. So maybe I'll cut out the artwork and save it for something, some kind of a project. But yeah, I ended up getting some stand-up on record, which is awesome. A oven mitt, which usually doesn't excite a grown man, and some chess books for my dad, by the way. After I read them, I will give them to him. I don't know if he's going to read them or not, but they will go in the ever-growing pile of chess knowledge that will be open to him, so we can be on an equal playing field. So anyway, that is my my story time for today. The day finally died down. My wife went to work, and I spent the rest of the day with the dog. It was just a real interesting day today. You know, I mean, I'm in this parking lot with my wife, and it's all this free stuff everywhere, and I'm just grabbing this and grabbing that, and I don't know, I kind of felt greedy. You know, it was kind of a weird feeling, and like I said, at the same time, I'm looking at the stuff in her arms, she's looking at the stuff that I'm holding, and we both said, you know, we don't need any of this crap. And I'm like, yeah, we don't. You know, I only grabbed just a couple things we really like. And that was it. You know, I just don't want to turn into a hoarder. I don't want to just keep taking in things, you know. It's not about how much stuff you have. A lot of people, unfortunately, live their life like that. You know, I need to have everything. I need to have all the stuff, you know, and that's not what it's about. It's not about the material items that we have. It's about the friendships that we have. It's about our family, the love, you know, the relationships we have with different people. That should be our main entertainment. You know, the conversations and the laughs and the memories that we create, not the stuff that we buy. Granted, this stuff was free, so it's not maybe a great example, but, you know, it just wasn't a great idea to take all that stuff home. And I'm really happy because we saw some other people who arrived, and it was a woman who actually volunteers for, it's basically like a thrift store, and it's 100% volunteers that work there, and then all the money that from all the stuff that's sold ends up going to the animal shelter in that specific county. So I thought that was pretty cool. It's actually a place that I've visited before, and it's in a neighboring town. So I'm glad to see that she was there, and she was basically grabbing everything that was left that was not broken or anything, so this way they could take it to the store and make some money off it, and at least the animals, you know, will benefit from that. So there you go, guys. That was my day today. Just felt like sharing it with you, showing you the different things that I picked up at the free garage sale. Hope you enjoyed it. At the tail end here, I'm going to leave you guys with some of the pictures and a slideshow that I took earlier in the day. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys have an awesome day, and I'll see you soon.